Hey, time to catch up now with Quentin Tarantino. He's in the country promoting his latest film, Inglorious Basterds, which is an unusual film. We both enjoyed it. Lindsay and I went and saw it, but it's set in Nazi Germany, taking a bit of a license about what actually went on.
He makes shit up.
He does make a lot of stuff up.
That just didn't happen.
He's Tarantino.
He does.
He has a license to make shit up.
You know, he's been releasing films since, 92, Reservoir Dogs came out, and he's done all sorts of amazing films over the years.
He resurrected John Travolta's career with Pulp Fiction, which Travolta then single-handedly proceeded to destroy himself, showing perhaps ill-advised taste in choosing Battleship Earth as another vehicle.
Yeah, there were Kill Bill films. His last two, the Grindhouse films.
Death Proof.
Which were not as well received as some of his earlier material. But anyway, let's take you into the room with Mr. Tarantino. Okay, Lindsay and I are sitting in a fairly flash hotel room, and we're sitting opposite a well-known face, actually. Short, dark hair, lovely brown. Are they brown eyes?
Yes.
Yeah, brown eyes, slightly plucked eyebrows, I believe.
Open-chested shirt.
An open-chested shirt, yeah. Good for radio, undoubtedly. Quentin Tarantino, welcome to Triple J.
Oh, good to be here.
We've got 9 minutes with you today, which is 2 minutes shy of the 11-minute standing ovation that you had when your film, the first screening. Can I ask, I've not been in an 11-minute standing ovation. What happens? How do people keep up clapping for 11 minutes?
And what do you do?
Well, actually, it was funny. You smile a lot. Right? You do a lot of smiling. You do a lot of beaming. All right. Actually, one of the things I actually told the actors, though, because you can actually start getting embarrassed, like you feel you need to do something at that time. And so there could be a tendency to like, oh, this is so wonderful, and you hug the actors or something like that. I go, no, don't do that. Be cool. Be cool. Just take it. Just take it. We've earned this. We worked hard. Just stand there and just let them give it to us. Be cool. This is the time. There are times to be cool and times not to be. In Cannes, when you're getting an 11-minute standing ovation, that's the time to be cool.
What was the sensation for you, though? Because I know the Grindhouse films were a little more difficult in the way they were received for some people. This was the first time Inglorious Basterds was screened publicly.
Yeah.
How did you feel at that point in time when you realised that it did actually go down really well?
Well, oddly enough, actually, Death Proof, split away from Grindhouse, did great in Cannes. It did great in Paris. It did great in France. All right, so we actually got a really good response, but actually had a better title in France. It's called Boulevard de l'Amour. So much more fun to say. All right, but no, it was very, very special. But also there was also an aspect about it that it was the end of a journey. Actually, in particular, the kind of Cannes situation, because I came up with the idea. Once I finished the script, I knew that I wanted to go to Cannes with it, and I finished this. Okay, so Cannes is in May, and I literally put the pen down on the script July 2nd. So that means we had 9 months.
Which is not very much.
Yeah, not for a movie with this canvas, and especially my first period piece and everything, but. By gum, I was going to try to do it. And so I got together with my producer, and I go, look, I want to make Cannes, and this is it. And I'm, this is one of my big ones, and I'm a Cannes boy, so let's go. And that was what we were going to do, hook or by crook. So there was this, so everything we were doing, there was this one thing in mind.
Does that put a lot more pressure on you, though? I mean, during the making of it, and how does that sort of result in what goes on in the film?
Yeah, well, it did put a lot of pressure. I don't mind that so much. I mean, it's just kind of the name of the game. But it was an interesting pressure because it was a pressure of my own making. It's like, I mean, if they saddle you with a release date or something, that can be something that them are doing. All right, but this is me. And how the pressure worked was basically, but again, I looked at it. This is a good thing, but it didn't make it easy. Is normally when you're a director in my situation, as you go on making movies, it's not like they usually get they get more comfortable, they get more cushy for you, all right? You have longer schedules, and you don't really have super tough days every day. You have, like, say, maybe, because, I have big scenes, or very little small scenes, but say you have 3 days to do a scene. Well, you definitely do your best. You definitely do your best. But, if you don't get it done, there's always mañana, all right? Well, there is no mañana if you've got 9 months to make the movie, and you're either going to be in Cannes or you're not going to be in Cannes, all right? And it's my own pressure. I'm the one that wants to go, But the thing is, what I was trying to do, I'm not trying to make too long in this answer, but what I was trying to do is hopefully, as opposed to that marbled fact that can happen with a mañana, it's like I was hoping that energy would find its way on screen.
We're sitting in a hotel room with Quentin Tarantino. Inglorious Basterds is the film which has just been released, his latest film.
It does move around amazingly quickly from all the different scenes and different sort of protagonists. But it's also, speaking of pressure, what's it like to completely rewrite Nazi history?
Well,
was it cathartic?
Yeah, I have to say it was kind of cathartic, actually. But it wasn't a master plan. I didn't know I was going to do that until I, came up against it. And the thing about it was, where I'm coming from on that is, some people say, so does that mean that the movie is a fairy tale? I mean, I do start off with Once Upon a Time, where you would normally be based on a true story, And my feeling about it is this: if you want to look at it as a fairy tale, feel free. As Londa says in the movie, if that tastes better going down, so be it. All right, that's actually not where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is this: is my characters changed the course of the war. Now, that didn't happen because my characters didn't exist. But if they had have existed, everything that happens in the movie is fairly plausible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's based on the strength of your characters, this sort of thing.
Well, also because part of my thing, though, is, and this is one of the reasons that gave me myself permission, is once I came up against it, it was like, my characters don't know they're part of history. My characters don't know what happened. Yeah. My characters don't have anything they can't do because a history book said this or that.
which is great. Did your characters notice that some of the music wasn't actually recorded by at that period in history? Some of the music you used in the sound?
Well, now I disagree with that. All right, because the thing about it is this. All right, if Shoshana turned on a radio and In Excess comes out, that might be, and not to say I wouldn't do something like that, but that might be a little anachronistic. But if it is me putting the music, it's score, and I can do anything I want.
One thing I did want to ask you about is different directors have different ways of creating a mood in their sets and with the people. How do you approach what kind of mood you want your actors to be in? I mean, are there techniques that you use?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big question, though. I mean, because it's going to be different for every scene or so. I mean, I'm trying to say. Well, I'll give you a little example. All right. Well, one thing I do is, for instance, is. Like in particular, there's you brought it up earlier. All right, there's a scene where Melanie Laurent, who plays Shoshana, is getting ready for this big premiere, and then in the score of the movie, I have the theme from Cat People, "Putting Out the Fire with Gasoline" by David Bowie, and so in that instance, I'm actually playing the music on the set. All right, because actually Melanie is very musically oriented and everything. So it's like, she worked out a whole little routine with the makeup, to the music. So on this moment, on that moment, I'm putting mascara on my face for all you people in Radio Land. All right. But so it was a whole little dance that she ended up doing, to that music, and with some people that would be more important, some people would be less. With her, she's very musically oriented, so it was important. But it's not only just her though; it's the whole crew. They get excited. It's like in a way, when you actually play music on the set and you see a cause and effect of what's going on, it's one of the closest times that the crew actually feels like they're watching the finished product, and they get in the whole groove of it, and the cameraman, everybody, those are their most exciting times, is when I play music on the set, and they can actually, it's like they're watching the movie.
Quentin Tarantino, thanks for talking to us at Triple J.
We have to play some music now.
Yeah,
all right,
time for music. Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Good to be here, mate.
Do you think he ever sleeps?
No.
Doesn't need to.
No, doesn't need to.